What's really good, guys? It's your boy Menace, aka D-Man. Your man, and I'm sitting here by my lonesome once again. My sister Daria is actually back in Chicago right about now, so go ahead and throw her some birthday wishes. I'll drop her little Twitter account down in the comments below. But I am here with my boy, the man, the myth, the legend, the hero, KingDead. What's up, KingDead?
Hey, doing okay. How about yourself, D?
Man, it has been a wild past 48 hours, and it's about to get even more hectic because we got the first ever 3-day weekend when it comes to some WWE programming. The first time we got Friday Night Smackdown, followed by NXT TakeOver, and then a Survivor Series. That's too much wrestling, man. That's way too much damn wrestling.
That is a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, we got a lot to cover, but luckily enough, we don't have a lot of matches to cover. So that's the positive. So at least we don't have any like 13 match cards that we got to deal with. We just got a few. So that's doable for us right about now. But if this is your first time joining us, y'all, this is how we do things. We give you a brief rundown of what's about to happen during the weekend, during the takeover, during the pay-per-view. We tell you how we got there with the match types, and then we give you our predictions, our lucky guesses, our educated guesses that we give you for these particular predictions. If you'd like to join us for a lot of the stuff that we do, a lot of the comments, a lot of the news that we pass around in our Discord channel, make sure to hit me up at spotted_menace on Twitter, and I'll drop you that link to our Discord server, and we'll be more than happy to have you. But for right now, let's get right into it by starting off with NXT TakeOver Wargames. This is our second one or our third one?
I believe it's our third one.
Yeah, I think it's our third. I think you are right. But we got NXT TakeOver Wargames, and what we're going to start off with is a match that I didn't even know was actually scheduled for Wargames, but we got to tell the triple threat match for the NXT number one contendership for the NXT Championship. We got ourselves Pete Dunne, Damian Priest, and Killian Dane. These guys don't like each other. They don't like when somebody says something is on site, this is what they mean, because matches have ended and just out of nowhere, Killian Dane will pop in and beat the crap out of Pete Dunne. Funny enough, though, when Damian Priest tried to help out in the beatdown, Killian Dane said, "No, I'm going to beat your ass up too." Matches haven't even gotten started. They get interrupted. Like, for the past few weeks, these three have just been wreaking havoc, trying to beat the crap out of each other. And now they're being rewarded with a shot at the number one contendership for the NXT Championship. But all three, I'm perfectly fine with either one of them taking the spot. Primarily because, like, Pete Dunne, you know, Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, is going to be amazing, regardless of whatever the hell angle he's going to be putting himself into. Then we got Damian Priest, our new guy, coming in. This is going to be his first real big push, and technically the same will be said for Killian Dane for his first real singles run. He did have an NXT TakeOver match against Matt Riddle, which I believe he lost, but this is like the real one where he's getting a chance at any kind of potential shot at any kind of potential title. So honestly, it's a toss-up for me. So Katie, who you got?
Oh, geez, this is a tough one because, like, you know, all of them are pretty much qualified probably for this challenge. It's going to be a hell of a beatdown, is what it's going to be.
Oh yes, it is.
It really is. I'm going to say, like, he's a dark horse, but I'm going to say Damian Priest somehow pulls it out.
Ooh. Okay. I mean, I don't. As I said, it's a toss up for me. But if I had to go gun to my head, as much as I want Pete Dunne to get another shot at the title, he's one of those rare talents that doesn't need to chase and doesn't need to hold gold for him to be credible in the ring. You don't get too many people like that where they don't have to be in the spotlight for them to make waves. So as much as I want Dunn to do it, I don't think he will. I think it might be Killian Dane, mainly because, just as I said, this will be his first real push. He's been here for a while. They failed him with his sanity run by, switching him out from wearing nothing but a pair of tights to a singlet. And it's like, no, that doesn't work for bruh. That does not work. And here he is back in NXT on a singles run, basically pulling his IRA gimmick. And I want to give it, I think they should give him a shot. So I'm going for Killian Dane on this one. Let brother shine. Let him shine and let him get some play. What we got next on the match card should have been Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano, but I believe he's legitimately injured, so he's pretty much out of the picture. And he's being replaced by Matt Riddle. It's a better story with Balor and Gargano because, Balor came in and whooped the crap out of Gargano, threw a promo on him, made sure everybody knew he was the man who was going to be coming back into NXT and taking everything from everybody. Babyface, heel be damned.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Riddle hopping into the picture, it doesn't have nearly the amount of weight that it should for this story, but it will, in my opinion, be a pretty damn good match because Matt Riddle's MMA-ish style kind of meshes pretty well with Finn Balor's quick hitting, striking style that he has. So I kind of think this might end up being the dark horse, to steal your term, because I don't like to repeat myself, but whatever, I'm still in it. This might be the sleeper pick for match of the night. That might end up just like surprising the hell out of you and stealing what could be the match of the night for this one. But who do you got for this? We got Finn Balor versus Matt Riddle.
This is a tough one just because, it's like I don't think it's never happened. We've never seen Balor and Riddle against each other before. So, and it's like, this is our newly, chip on his shoulder, Finn Balor back in the NXT, out to prove something.
Yeah.
And Matt Riddle. I'm going to say Balor pulls it off.
Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm going to agree with you because I don't think Matt Riddle loses anything by losing this match. And also, since Finn is coming back down, you don't make the big name that you pulled from the main roster, a guy who has run afoul of bad luck and bad booking with injuries. You don't bring a guy like that down to NXT. I shouldn't say down, because now it's much more of a tangential move now that NXT is on Wednesday nights and is basically running as a third brand. So you don't let a guy like that go to NXT and then have him lose his first real big, feud, even though it's not up against the guy that he was supposed to be up against. You don't have him lose that. So I'm going for Finn Balor on this one. What we got next is about to be the biggest thing of the weekend. The two biggest matches of the weekend. I don't give a damn what happens on Survivor Series, even though I think Survivor Series might end up being pretty decent. But we got our two biggest matches happening, and they are the NXT TakeOver Specials namesake, War Games. We're going to start off with the men's, which will be fascinating, but it does come with a wrinkle because as of recording, there is no fourth member of Tommaso Ciampa's team. It's Undisputed Era. Your Adam Cole, your Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong versus Ciampa, Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, and then to be determined. Now, there have been rumors about who it could be. Triple H is teasing who it might be. I honestly don't know who it might be. It could be Swerve. It could be freaking John Morrison, for all the hell we know.
Oh, God, that would be amazing.
I mean, I'll be screaming my head off in our call.
Oh, God, I would freak out. Because, I would love a surprise. It's like Velveteen Dream is possible, probably the likely suspect. But god dang, if they just pulled something right out of unexpected territory and brought in John Morrison.
I mean, who knows who it could be? Because right now we're in a WWE bidding war for any kind of talent that's willing to jump ship, and they have the deep enough pockets to go for it, and they're going for virtually anybody who's even remotely interested in the company. So there's no telling who it could be. And that's kind of what's making this a little exciting. But for the men's, we got Undisputed Era versus Team Ciampa. And Undisputed Era has not been making any friends, like at all. And that's what makes this a little bit interesting because it's pulling guys like Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic together, despite the fact that they've had this big heated rivalry between these two. And they're willing to put bygones aside just to try to whoop up on the Undisputed Era in War Games. And what makes it even better is like they're getting nothing out of it. It's just about bragging rights. It's just about having an amazing match and proving that your team is the best. And I like wrestling like that. I need that kind of good wrestling like that in my life. So, KD, who do you got? Undisputed Era or Team Ciampa with a mystery partner?
I mean, I believe Undisputed Era actually has the advantage after last night's NXT show. Adam Cole, won the right to have the first out advantage, which means we got to have a 2-on-1 advantage in War Games, which is going to make things tougher for Ciampa's team. And I mean, what is this record? Like, is Undisputed Era won it last year? Didn't they? Who won it last year?
Oh, you know what? Go right ahead. I will look that up because I honestly can't tell you.
Because I cannot remember.
I think they did win it.
Let me just take a quick peek.
For the results right now.
Yeah, Undisputed Era won. No, they didn't actually win last year.
Oh yeah. Oh, because it was the War Raiders, Pete Dunne, and Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet brought out the. He brought out the damn extra spin.
Matter of fact, I think the first one.
Yeah, they won the first War Games.
Yeah, that's what it was because Roderick Strong teamed up with AOP, and it was like, yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so they did win the first one. They lost the second one.
Yeah, so they actually do have a record at War Games. I mean, that gives them an advantage.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Undisputed Era wins it.
You know what? I'm with that. Honestly, like, it really kind of doesn't matter who the fourth member is because, as you said, we have a team with a 1-1 record. The only team who's been consistently in War Games for the past 3 years. The only ones. Mm-hmm. And they have been a cohesive unit throughout that whole time, aside from, Roderick Strong, who was an opponent in the first War Games, and now he's, their fourth member. I can't see how there's going to be any chemistry in Team Ciampa with a fourth member who we don't know who it might be. There's nobody out there, I think, that can have the same kind of chemistry as Undisputed Era. Yeah. So I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna acquiesce and go with Undisputed Era on this one. They've got to get the win, especially after they're holding all the gold. So how do you not make sure that they have that win?
Yeah,
I don't know where you go with that one. Then we have another team without a fourth member. Oh wait, no, we have our fourth member.
Do they?
Yeah, because I think it's Kaylee Ray.
Did they finally make that official?
I think they did. I see again. Like we're sitting here looking because
they've changed. Like the card has been like a little bit.
It's been
blurry.
Subject to change. But yeah. At least on Wikipedia, it's saying it's Kaylee Ray.
Oh, there we are. Yep, on WWE's website, they're also saying it too.
There we go. So we got Kaylee Ray, Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, and Becca. Wow. Bianca Belair. I'm trying to read through all this stuff. My bad. Versus Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, and Tegan Nox for Tegan the Nox, women's War Games. And oh my God, if you have been taping it, because now you can officially tape it. You don't need the network. If you've been taping it, if you have had the network, go back and watch the advantage match, the ladder match between Io Shirai and Mia Yim, because that was freaking brutal, and I loved it. And I'm actually very scared for Mia Yim because I think she busted her freaking nose on that one.
Yeah, god dang.
Because, like, Jesus Christ. And Io Shirai took a beating, too. Like, that was crazy. And this is, it's weird. It's so weird because they've been able to keep all 8 of these people away from each other during a lot of the main roster invasions, while at the same time keeping them sort of adjacent. It's like a weird Twilight Zone of how they've been able to keep these guys from teaming up together while maintaining the animosity between these two teams. Because Shayna Baszler has been running in and just beating the crap out of everybody on the main roster. And so has, Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai and Rhea Ripley been hopping up to the main roster too. Same for Bianca Belair. So they've done a really good job of juggling the 2 separate storylines between NXT and Survivor Series. But here we go. We have an 8-woman tag match. Team Baszler, Team Rhea Ripley. Katie, who you
got? This is a tough one. There's a lot of heavy hitters in this match. And it's this is actually a potential for a match of the weekend right here, considering the sheer, talent in that ring at the same time.
Yeah.
I am honestly torn. I mean, Shayna Baszler is teaming up with a bunch of women she's not really been on the best of terms with at various points in history.
Yeah.
And then, Rhea Ripley's in the same boat here. And it's these people don't have any kind of love loss for each other, nor their teammates in most cases. That said, I'm going to say, Team Ripley pulls it off.
Yeah, you're absolutely right with Shayna Baszler's team, because Bianca Belair has came for a title. Io Shirai has come for a title. I believe she had no, she didn't have. She hasn't had any big feuds with Kaylee Ray.
Yeah, I mean, she's NXT Women's Champion. But the point is, there's a lot of snakes in this.
Yes, there's a lot of snakes in the grass. But I think it's worse for Baszler's team than it is for Ripley's team.
Yeah,
because Ripley at worst has been maybe an asshole.
Yeah,
to a few of them who thought they deserved to have a title shot. But Baszler has been the main antagonist for the better part of a year.
She's made enemies of nearly everyone in that ring at some point or another in the past year.
And here's the thing: if I wouldn't be surprised if all 7 of the opponents at one point in time just turn on her, especially if the rest of the 4 horsewomen are nowhere near ringside.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect there will be a moment, towards the end of the match, after the match, who knows, where Shayna Baszler gets her comeuppance and just gets her ass whooped by everybody in the field. Great.
Now, do you think there's meddling from the main roster? I mean, NXT has been going after them for the past couple of weeks now. Do you think anyone decides to intervene?
And
try and stir
tough.
up trouble during War Games, because they the next night, we're rolling right into it, I believe, is Survivor Series.
That's going to be tough. I on the one hand, I don't think that they'd want to sully what could potentially be the best card of the year.
Oh God, this is an exciting card.
This could be the best wrestling card of the year, regardless of promotion. So I at the one hand, I don't think that they will want to sully that with an invasion angle during the proceedings. Now, if as I said, Shayna Baszler, I think is going to get her ass kicked. I would love to see Bayley and Sasha. Wow. Damn it, Becky Lynch. I suck at these names. I'm tongue-tied. I would love to see Bayley and Becky Lynch beat the crap out of her. If she's standing tall or if she's trying to lick her wounds and crawl away from a potential. I would need to see something like that at the end. When we see the end credits pop up and, oh, wait, no, there's more. And she just gets the rest of the main roster. And I don't even think that they need the whole main roster. Just get the women down here to kick her ass. And that'd be a nice little send-off image for NXT TakeOver, just to further blend the two together to let you know that this is not a standalone thing. This is part of the bigger product that you're going to see with Survivor Series. But I don't think that they'll interfere. I hope that they won't. I don't think it will completely ruin it, but it'll be a chance that it takes away a lot of the impact that this card could have if you interfere in any of these matches. But with that being said, NXT, done.
Mm-hmm.
That was quick. Just ran right through that one with NXT. Now we get to Survivor Series. That's going to be fun. Honestly, I take that back. It might be fun because, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that we have a lot of the NXT people in here, and they've been telling a pretty decent story. Even though before we go into this, I've said this repeatedly, ad nauseum in the calls on Twitter. It is absolutely dumb to maintain the Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT image for anything that doesn't include a title.
Yeah, like why is there no title matches in any of this?
I mean, they have the tag team, and then they have the triple threat mid card.
But none of them are for the belts. There's no stakes. It's just bragging rights.
And here's the thing. I wouldn't mind that nearly as much if they, instead of made the men's Survivor Series and women's Survivor Series elimination matches triple threats. Because here's my big question. Why do you have loyalty to Raw or SmackDown when just weeks ago you were playing for both teams?
Yeah. There's been not enough time for brand loyalty.
There's no time. If you'd have just said, okay, I understand why the SmackDown Women's Champion or the United States Champion has loyalty to whichever brand their championship belt is tied to, because that is the championship. That is a big thing to hold on to. It makes absolute sense why you would have a triple threat match for the Intercontinental U.S. and North American title, or the NXT SmackDown Raw Women's Championship, or it should have been the WWE Universal and NXT Championship match. That makes sense. But just to go, hey, you are on Raw, so you're loyal to Raw. Like, why? Why? Like kayfabe, give me a reason why Drew McIntyre is loyal to Raw when he was on Raw and SmackDown a little bit over a month ago. Why is he loyal to that one show? This is also why I think the whole Saudi thing ruins certain aspects of this, because without it, there's damn near 2 months of space between Hell in a Cell and this.
Yeah.
And you would have had more than enough time to build to it. Had all the time in the world to build to it, but you had to take a stop to go to Saudi Arabia to put on that show, and then you only have another month to try to get shit done. But that's my one rant. We're moving on. There is potential for there to be a Cruiserweight Championship match either on NXT or on Survivor Series. It's unknown. It's not in the cards right now, so cards are subject to change.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, we're going to hop into our triple threat matches because we got 5 of them. 5 triple threat matches.
God dang.
This is why you say you need to break it up. NXT versus main roster would have been so much better. But we have the United States Champion AJ Styles, IC Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, and NXT North American Champion Roderick Strong. I don't know who goes away with this one.
I mean, that's a lot of goddamn talent in the ring right there.
This will be, again, this is why I don't think that Survivor Series will be bad. I just don't think it will be nearly as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
But I don't know who to pick for this one. I don't know who to pick.
This is hard.
Oh, yeah, it's hard. It's damn near impossible to pick for this one. What's really frustrating, though, is there has been no build-up for this one particular match.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating how they haven't really done much of anything for this at all.
Yeah, there has been no segment for AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Roderick Strong. There have been segments for the OC and Undisputed Era, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But with that being said, who do you got, KD?
Jeez, this is like one of these matches, like, you talk about it, or like, what happened in the indies, but the fact that it's happening in WWE seems surreal. And the fact that, like, they're fighting for technically brand loyalty is also weird.
Yeah.
this is a match where Roderick Strong, gets one of his biggest platforms to show off. I mean, that's not something he's had. The others both have. I mean, Roderick's been on the Saudi show once, in the Battle Royale, where he chopped the hell out of Daniel Bryan. That was amazing. But he hasn't had a solo spotlight on himself in this capacity ever.
No.
So, I mean, the fact that he gets to, be in the ring with AJ Styles, he gets to be in the ring with Shinsuke Nakamura is it's going to be interesting as hell. It's going to be. And it's and the fact that also it's a triple threat match means not everybody needs to be pinned to win. Only one person has to lose. So, I mean, you're going to have AJ, you're going to have Shinsuke, you're going to have Roderick, all hopefully bringing their A game. And geez, I mean, it's AJ has the OC, Knock has, that little shithead Sami Zayn with him. And then Roderick Strong has the Undisputed Era, all of whom will undoubtedly interfere with things. I mean, technically, all three of them are heels. I mean, which is just unusual. It's you don't get a triple threat heel match ever, especially not in WWE.
Oh, that's true.
So, I mean, it's who's going to be the most underhanded, who's going to be the most dirty, who's going to be the most talented show-stopping man in this match. And Jesus Christ, it's impossible to say. I'm going to say Roderick Strong. This is a night for dark horses.
Ooh, okay. You throwing in an upset of sorts.
Yeah, this is a chance for an upset and for a new star to shine.
Honestly, all of Survivor Series and all of War Games is a launch pad for Undisputed Era, for every single member of the Undisputed Era. Because they're going to be involved in every single match, aside from Adam Cole, who might be in the men's Survivor Series elimination match. We don't know, because they don't have their team set. Though, with that being said, I need to go with who needs it the most. AJ Styles is like Teflon right now. Yeah, because even though he hasn't really put up his title that often, even though he hasn't been showcased that often, he's still Teflon. You throw AJ Styles into a match, everybody's going to be looking. Roderick Strong doesn't need this, even though him having it would be the most amazing thing of the night, probably. I think out of all three of these, though, Shinsuke is the one who really needs the win here. Because he's been doing absolutely nothing. Like every single new gimmick, every single new attempt, every single new partner they team him up with, it's so short-lived that he does absolutely nothing with it, and then he just kind of languishes. The title is an albatross around his neck right now, and it's not doing anything. And since he's not doing anything with it, there's nothing happening with the IC title. So having that under his belt, having this match under his belt, I think is what is necessary for him moving forward. So I'm going to go with Shinsuke Nakamura on this particular one. I hope. In a perfect world, Shinsuke wouldn't be in this position, and I could pick Roderick Strong because that would be the best pick of the night. Yeah. But because we don't live in a vacuum, I got to go with Shinsuke. And then we move to the next part of our triple threat 2 out of 5. The triple threat tag team match, the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders, Smackdown Tag Team Champions, the New Day, and the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Again, nothing has really super came a part of this because Undisputed Era has been feuding more with the OC than with their particular potential opponents at Survivor Series. So there's nothing to speak on for this. Viking Raiders finally have had some decent matches over the past few, and not just a bunch of squash matches, so that's a plus. New Day just won the titles back away from the Revival. I don't know how I feel about that, but hey, it is what it is. And the Undisputed Era has just been, again, just completely amazing over the past few months. This could be a good match. It most likely will be because the participants in this are freaking amazing. If they're given the time to run, it'll be great. But here's where it comes into the problem of the fact that there are no stakes for this. It is just bragging rights. So what's keeping you invested in this match aside from just good wrestling? Sometimes that's enough. Who knows if it's enough for this, especially after you're out in the day 3 of a burnout of wrestling. Who knows? KD, though, who you got?
Jeez. I mean, that's a lot of talent in your ring again. I mean, this is like going to be like a common thread the entire show. I mean, it's like, God dang, you have like all of them multi-time tag team champions, some of them across the world. So, I mean, it's like, who wins? I mean, New Day has like, you know, the momentum of like, you know, just recapturing their tag titles. Undisputed Era has been in an era of dominance in NXT. And then the Viking Raiders, who just like, you know, are the heavy hitting forces. I mean, it's like we haven't really seen all 3 of these teams, like, you know, any of these teams compete against each other before. So, I mean, this is a tough one. I mean, it's like you have the former NXT team, you have the current NXT team, and you have the New Day. All of them be more than qualified to win here, but who wins? I'm going to say it's the Undisputed Era. I honestly think this is going to be their weekend.
You know what? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. But on the plus side, what makes it easier for me to choose is there is no Shinsuke Nakamura in this match. There is nobody here who, if they catch a pin or if they don't get a win, it ruins any kind of mystique or push for them. But you did raise a good point. New Day has never faced the Viking Raiders, I don't believe. I don't think they've ever faced the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, I do not believe it's happened.
And they definitely haven't faced the Undisputed Era. So this will be freaking great. Like, this will be outstanding, to say the very least. Viking Raiders, they're so dominant in terms of just their look and their appearance and the way that they present themselves that if they eat a pin, it won't kill them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with your pick on this one. I'm gonna go with the Undisputed Era. It's the most interesting pick, and it's the one that seems to be the pick that I would that they would go for this. Because New Day doesn't need the win, Viking Raiders doesn't need the win. Undisputed Era for this one would be great to have a win right here. And honestly, if Undisputed Era sweeps all their matches, I will go freaking nuts. I will go nuts. But speaking of more triple threat matches, we have the Men's Survivor Series Elimination Triple Threat match. We have the Team Raw, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Ricochet, and Drew. It's a 15-man tag. This is a 15-man tag match.
Yeah, really.
Are you kidding me? I had to stop for a second. I'm sorry. I just thought about that because I was like, okay, maybe they'd only have like 3 or 4 people on team. When I got to 5. Moving on. We got Smackdown, Team Smackdown, King Corbin, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Mustafa Ali, and I hate this name, Shorty G. Versus Team NXT, TBD. They don't have their team set. It's likely to be possibly Adam Cole and make this whole thing a Team Undisputed Era sweep if they manage to win this. But 15-man elimination triple threat tag team match. That's going to be a clusterfuck. Don't excuse my language. Now, Seth Rollins has been... There's a lot of little mini story threads. So that is the one good thing about this potential match, is they've been able to juggle the story threads among shows for this match. Seth Rollins has been trying to get his edge back. CM Punk now back with Fox on Backstage is saying stop tweeting, and I fully agree with him. But Seth Rollins has not been able to find his edge lately. Randy Orton has been basically bullying Ricochet by telling him, hey, I can hit you with the RKO anywhere, don't trust me. Kevin Owens is kind of sort of on the fence because Triple H tried to recruit him back to NXT. Mm-hmm. And then we have Drew McIntyre, who the last story thing that I can think that he's been involved with was the Rusev Lana Bobby Lashley thing, where when Bobby Lashley beat down Rusev, he threw his hands up and said, I don't want nothing to do with this, and walked away. Moving over to Team SmackDown, King Corbin is an insufferable bitch, and he's messing around with Roman Reigns by throwing out dog fursuits and making puppies go to that's stupid. Braun Strowman is just Braun Strowman, and Shorty G and Mustafa Ali are just them. There's the big story thread for this one is Corbin and Reigns.
Yeah.
That's it. Then we have NXT. Again, we don't know the team yet. We'll probably find out the day of, which I'm okay with because they have no shortage of talent that could fill this roster and make it an interesting match. So I'm not worried about that. So KingDead, Team Raw, Team SmackDown, Team NXT. Who do you have?
I mean, based on what we know, at least, there's a lot of people at odds with each other, specifically on their respective teams. I mean, can Raw and SmackDown's team even work, even like either of their teams work together? That's like, a bigger question here. I mean, It's like add in the element of like, the unknown NXT team. I mean, it's like, that's a lot of stories, like, spinning around. And then you have to deal with an unknown entity altogether. I'm going to say NXT does it because Corbin and Reigns are just going to do their own thing. Steph and Randy and Drew aren't on the best of terms. Everyone involved has some kind of animosity with someone else. There's no stability.
I agree. And I got to go back to my initial rant about how it doesn't make sense for any loyalty between Raw and SmackDown versus NXT. Because the one thing that is true about this, there's only one team that has a chip on their shoulder the way that they do, and they have a collective goal in mind, and that is Team NXT. Team Raw doesn't have a collective goal. They have their own individual desires and wants. But one thing that you've seen during the invasions of Team NXT is a cohesive unit at all times. At all times. It took until this past week, maybe last SmackDown, before SmackDown or Raw decided to invade each other. Because they didn't give a shit about being Team Raw, Team SmackDown like that. They don't care about that whole team rivalry bullshit. But NXT does. They have a chip on their shoulder. And they're going to be coming into this hungrier than any team that's there, regardless of who they choose for their 5. So I'm with you for that one. I'm with you for Team NXT for that one. The Women's Survivor Series Elimination Chamber. Jesus Christ. Elimination Triple Threat match. Number 4 on the night. We have Team Raw, Charlotte Flair, Natalya, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Sarah Logan. What?
What? How did Sarah Logan get a spot?
Oh, what?
Wasn't Dana? Oh, wow. Dana Brooks on SmackDown. I did not even realize that. I knew she was in this match.
I forgot Charlotte was on Raw for a second. You see how stupid? Team SmackDown. Sasha Banks, Lacey Evans, Carmella, Dana Brooke, and Nikki Cross. That team makes a little bit more sense. Versus NXT, which is TBD. Once more.
Right.
Again, too much talent on NXT for me to sit here and wonder about who the 5 are going to be. I honestly don't care because they have that much talent. They can handle this. Handle this. There are fewer stories with this one. There really is. Like, maybe between Charlotte and Natalya, but even then, there's not much of a story for that on Raw. For SmackDown, again, we really don't have any actual stories. Like, maybe Sasha Banks and Nikki Cross have a little bit of a feud, but I think they're going to be more of a tight knit unit, Raw and SmackDown, than the men will be, because there's fewer bickering moments between these women. So let's just jump right into it. Forget everything. Women's Survivor Series tag team match: Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Who you got, KD?
Jeez. Again with this, it's like, these matches are too hard. And it's like, again, Raw and SmackDown have the part, like, the volatile personalities who is like, who's to say who you can trust on these teams? I'm going to say, I mean, I hate even like, claiming it's going to be an NXT sweep, but I mean, it's looking like it's an NXT sweep. I'm going to say the NXT women.
In a different world, without Vince McMahon being in control of WWE, I could see a company deciding, hey, the new brand, the brand that we just brought up to Wednesday nights live on USA gets the sweep in the first ever pay-per-view involving them, would not be outside the realm of possibility. I think anybody else probably would float this as an idea and wouldn't be seen as pandering. In Vince McMahon's controlled WWE, though, it feels a little weird that he would give NXT the rub this way. Mm-hmm. I don't think he has that much faith in them to just do that. I wish he did, because, again, that would be for an amazing story moving forward. It would give NXT the bump that they need in the ratings. It would keep them in the spotlight even on Monday and Friday night, just to have the specter of NXT looming over the heads. And it would really bleed into a bunch of other stories that you could throw in there without having to muddy the waters too much. That being said, though, since I don't think it will be a clean sweep, I do think the main roster gets a win on this one, and I think it will be Team Smackdown for this, mainly just because of the way that Sasha Banks has returned and kind of repackaged herself and helped to repackage Bayley. I think that's going to be a bigger driving force story-wise between these three teams than anything else that you could really see right here. Despite the fact that Asuka and Kairi Sane, the women's tag team champions, being on Raw, I still think that it will be Team SmackDown tonight for this particular one. With that being said, we only have 3 more matches, and thankfully only one more triple threat match. It's the women's time. We got Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Shayna Baszler. Now, this one has been compelling as hell because it started off just Becky Lynch and Baszler. You have the shadow of Ronda Rousey hanging over Becky Lynch's head as Shayna Baszler is around. And then you have Bayley just being completely forgotten for a moment until she decides, you know what, I'm going to fuck somebody's shit up. Like this, like the promos for this, the attacks for this, just everything surrounding this triple threat match has been phenomenal, in my opinion. And I won't stand on ceremony anymore because there's really not much more to say. Go back and watch it if you can. Go back and watch the segments on YouTube, on the WWE YouTube channel. So, KD, who you got for this one, for the women triple threat?
Oh, jeez. So much talent. Oh, I mean, let's see. I mean, Shayna's probably going to be awfully beat up from the previous night. True. But at the same time, it's triple threat, so there's no disqualification involved, so anything can happen. But, Becky Lynch and Bayley are there, so they're not, ones to sleep on either. Like, this is actually one of the hardest picks of the night, just because, any of these women are viable winners. I can't do it. I can't sweep NXT for this one. I'm going to say...
You got Becky.
Yeah.
Okay, so my bold prediction is I think Jessamine Duke and the other one, I can never remember her name. I think they're going to be involved in the women's NXT Elimination Chamber match. Tag team match. Jesus Christ. It's been a long week. I think they're going to be involved with that. At the same time, I think they also might make an appearance for this to add some distractions to everything. That being said, I think somehow Bayley manages to pull this out. And I think it's going to be the most underhanded, the most non-Bayley way that she's going to get a win. And I think it's going to be Becky Lynch eating the pin. That's my bold prediction. That's my bold prediction for this match and this card. It's going to be Bayley that gets the win for this. Because I think, honestly, out of all 3 of this one, she's the one who needs it the most. Especially with the way that she's been overlooked. Mm-hmm. No more triple threat matches.
Oh, thank God.
No more triple threat matches. Hopefully, with this next match, there's no red light. We have the Universal Championship. Oh, it might be a blue light now. The Universal Championship match between The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Daniel Bryan. The Fiend deciding to change the color of the Universal Championship match from Raw Blood Red to SmackDown Blue. I kind of like it. It looks really clean. I may hate it. a couple years down the line, if it stays that way, honestly, I think they should change up all the WWE title belts, because just having a big ass W while you have places like AEW making these big, ornate, beautiful looking belts is tacky. One of my more bold takes out there. But we have the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, who has been attacking Daniel Bryan for the better half of the past month, let's say, now that you think about it. Just coming up from behind, attacking him, and pushing him to try to bring back the Yes movement. Because when you really think about it, Bray Wyatt, of all the feuds he lost this one against Daniel Bryan, if I can recall, because he tried to recruit him into the Wyatt family way back in the day. Had a steel cage or a Hell in a Cell match against him, and basically Daniel Bryan basically betrayed him. So this could go all the way back to, I want to say, like 2013, 2014. I think was around the time this was happening. There's some history here.
Yeah.
But the champion is now Bray Wyatt, and he needs to keep on racking up these feud wins. And going up against Daniel Bryan, I think is going to be one of the better chances for him to put a notch on his belt. But who you got for this one, KingDead?
Oh boy,
Bryan versus Wyatt.
It's been a long spell since we've seen Bray Wyatt in the ring too. So
true that.
I mean, but he's been needling Daniel Bryan, poking him, attacking him from behind. I mean, can Daniel do it? It's hard to say, but I think in this case, Bray Wyatt has it.
Screw it. I'm going Bray Wyatt. Daniel Bryan, again, he's one of those rare talents where a loss doesn't hurt him. Especially a really good loss like this. I think that they could have an actually good match. A better match than what they had at Hell in a Cell. I didn't watch Saudi Arabia. I refused to. So I can't tell you how good that match was against Seth Rollins when he won the title. I don't care. I do care about this match moving forward, and I think that this could be Bray Wyatt's best match, probably of the Fiend character or even his career. It has a chance for that. It's just a regular ass match. I want to see some good storytelling. It may not be the best wrestling, but I think it could be some really good storytelling happening right here. So I'm going Bray Wyatt. Finally, we have ourselves a WWE Championship match.
Hold on. You forgot the Adam Cole match. It's not listed, but it is.
Oh, I must have.
It's not listed on WWE.com, but they mention it on the Wargames page on WWE.com.
Okay, what was the match?
It's Adam Cole versus whoever wins the triple threat match the night before.
Really?
Yeah. They said it's happening at Survivor Series, but they haven't updated the card for Survivor Series to indicate.
Okay. I mean, we can't really predict on that because it's contingent upon who wins.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we can base it off who we picked.
Yeah, true that, because I had Killian Dane for that. Shoot, Killian Dane versus Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Now that would be a pretty damn good match.
That would. I mean, it's like
that,
I picked
that
Damian
would be a pretty
Priest.
damn good match. Yeah. Oh damn, Damian. Anybody would have been. Damn. You know what? Forget it. I'll take whoever. I still choose Adam Cole. I still choose Adam Cole regardless of who I would have.
I mean, it may not be NXT's night completely, but it's certainly going to be Undisputed Era's weekend.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be Undisputed Era's weekend. Shoot, yeah, damn. So I'm going to try to make sure to have that one up, even though they don't have it on the card. I'm going to do my best to make sure to have it there. But yeah, thank you for letting me know. Cause I on the card that I'm looking at, it's completely not listed.
Yeah, it's not listed anywhere, and I kept expecting WWE.com to update their match list because I mean they mention it on Wargames' card specifically.
Honestly, that's the reason why we didn't have this particular show for Hell in a Cell, because all we had was like 3 matches on the whole freaking card for Hell in a Cell, and it's like we can't really have a show with just 3 matches.
Yeah, so on the Wargames page, it specifically
says
triple threat match. Winner faces NXT champion Adam Cole at Survivor Series, and I hope to God it's not on the kickoff show.
Oh, that's hopefully it's going to be reserved for the Cruiserweight Championship match between Leo Rush and Garza. Let's hope. But yeah, make sure if you're listening, you're watching, make sure to adjust your cards and be prepared for Adam Cole versus the winner of the triple threat match from Wargames. Thank you, WWE. Now we move on to the very last match of the night. Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio. Brock Lesnar beating the shit out of Rey Mysterio's kid. Multiple times. Repeatedly. It's not a good look. Rey Mysterio bringing out, I almost called Tito Ortiz. I am bad. What was his name?
What, Tito Ortiz?
No, the Godfather who had the match with him at Saudi Arabia.
Oh, Cain Velasquez.
Thank you, Cain Velasquez. Again, I suck at names when it's not off the top of my head. Like it's right here. I don't know. I was stuck on Impact with Tito Ortiz's ass. My bad. But brings in Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez taps. Brock Lesnar comes back out and continues to beat the crap. Oh wait, no. After he taps, apparently Rey Mysterio assaults Brock Lesnar, which leads to Brock Lesnar being so mad he quits Smackdown while holding the WWE Championship and jumps ship to Raw. Didn't know you could do that. Didn't know that was a thing you could do. Just like leave a company, join another company. Didn't know that was possible. Apparently with Brock, it is. And he wants to absolutely murderize Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio brings out a lead pipe, beats the crap out of him, and now we have a no disqualification, no holds barred, wait, is no holds barred and no disqualification redundant as shit?
I think so, yes.
Whatever. We have a no rules match between Brock Lesnar and Rey Mysterio. Really not more to say on this. KD, who you got?
Geez, this is going to be at least an exciting or an interesting match. Hopefully exciting. Brock Lesnar has put on some really good matches these past, was it 2-3 Survivor Series now? I mean, He had AJ, he's had Daniel Bryan.
Oh, yeah.
Did he have Finn? Am I getting that mixed up? He never had Finn.
Yeah, I think Finn got injured.
Yeah, he never had Finn, but he had Daniel Bryan and he's had AJ.
Yeah.
He's had a history of fighting the WWE champion at the time at Survivor Series. In this case, it's him being WWE champion against Rey Mysterio, another smaller dude who seems to bring out the best in Brock Lesnar, especially at Survivor Series. I mean, WrestleMania may be his stage, but Survivor Series is where he gets to show off.
Yeah, this is very true.
And I think, the added elements of being no hold barred, no disqualification suddenly froze his winning streak into question. And I think it's possible, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to probably regret it later, but Rey Mysterio wins this match.
Considering what we have as you said, a no holds barred, no disqualification match, the potential for Cain Velasquez to pop up out of nowhere and even the odds, the potential for Rey Mysterio to completely upset him, considering that's what Rey Mysterio has done his whole career to the point where it's almost a meme at this point. I got Rey because a hot shotting of this title, it would kind of be. Brock losing this title doesn't diminish the title. The venue that this takes place in will not diminish the title. Who takes it away from him will not diminish the title. It's a good story. It leads to a lot more down the line. It leads to a lot of great, Paul Heyman promos. So yeah, forget everything. I'm going with Rey Mysterio on this one. Scratch that. That's going to be my bold pick of the night. Is going to have to be Rey Mysterio moving forward. This is going to be a busy weekend from Friday to Sunday. Starting tomorrow, at the time that we're recording this on the Thursday night, starting tomorrow or tonight, whenever this comes up online, this will be an incredibly busy ass weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping it's going to be a lot of good wrestling. I hope that the go home show for Friday Night Smackdown will at least be interesting enough to make you want to tune in. Survivor Series is going to be pretty good. I just think it could have been a lot better with better build up. but you had Saudi Arabia, so you lost a whole freaking month to that. But it is what it is. With that, I'm going to go ahead and might as well call us out on that. As always, you can catch our podcasts on iTunes, link in the description below, or at the website at HEELKAIJU.com, where you can find all of our shows, articles, and our merchandise at HEELKAIJU.com/shop to keep this site up and running and to keep us providing you with content. You can also join the Kaiju Wrecking Crew by following us on our Twitter account at HEELKAIJU, where we'll provide any updates, developments, and insights. Thank you again for listening. Thank you again for watching. And thank you again, KD, for joining us this late tonight. We appreciate you. We appreciate every one of you viewers.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope that you keep smashing.